welcome back to our channel where we help home sellers like you get great information that's timely, current, and relevant to helping you make the best decisions for you. So today we're diving into the world of real estate wholesaling. You may have heard of the term being tossed around, but what does it really mean? Is it a legitimate business practice, or are there hidden traps for unsuspecting sellers? In this video, I break it down step by step. Real estate wholesaling involves an individual who usually purports to be a buyer entering into a contract to purchase a piece of property. But here's the catch. Instead of closing on that property themselves, they market it to other buyers at a higher price. If successful, they assign their rights under the original contract or purchase agreement to the new buyer and walk away with a finder's or assignment fee. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all wholesalers operate ethically, or now even within the confines of the law. Most wholesalers enter into contracts without the intention to close, relying solely on finding a third-party buyer. They are not real estate agents, but unlicensed intermediaries who pretend to be buyers. Now, wholesaling isn't inherently bad or illegal. And while there are some legitimate wholesalers who explain verbally and in writing what their intentions are and what their methods are and how they go about their business, some use exploitive tactics and just look to take advantage outright of desperate and unassuming sellers. If you're a homeowner looking to sell, you should be aware of some red flags that might indicate an untrustworthy wholesaler. Let's break down the signs. First is a long time period between contract and closing. Typically, you'd expect a closing period of about 30 to 45 days in this area. This is plenty of time in which to close a property. That is, if the wholesaler has actual investor buyers they work with. Investor in buyers typically can close in a shorter time frame. So a 7-day marketing window and a 21-day closing period should get the job done. If a wholesaler offers a 45-day or longer contract period without a clear explanation for you, they might not be as networked and have access to actual investor buyers. They may be holding up any future or interim sale of your property while they attempt to find a buyer during this extended time period. And if it's just going to be on the market, you might as well be working with a licensed real estate professional. Next is the wholesaler buyer committing little or no earnest money. Earnest money is a deposit that the buyer places in escrow to deter them from terminating the contract without justification. A very low earnest payment, like say $100, may signal that the buyer wants an easy exit with no consequences in case they don't find someone to sell the contract to before closing. If you see a low earnest money offer like $100, it could mean they want a quick out without significant loss. A reasonable earnest money deposit is typically much higher, and a real estate agent can help guide you regarding these risks. Another red flag is a long or low cost option period. Watch out for contracts with extended option periods and minimal costs for exercising them. This could allow the buyer to back out easily if they change their mind with little risk to them or recourse for you. A long option period may similarly signify that the wholesaler may not be well networked with a saddle of investor buyers. Next, keep an eye out for any unusual language regarding assignability, a contract that allows the wholesaler to transfer their rights without notifying you could lead to unexpected surprises right before or at closing day. The most obvious place for that is in the name of the parties and how we readily identify it on our side. So it'll say name of the buyer and then the language and or assigns or affiliates or something similar gives the purported purchaser the ability to assign the contract unless the contract prohibits it. The general rule in Texas is that real estate contracts can be assigned, and both the buyer's and the seller's interest in the contract are freely assignable. Now, you may see additional paragraphs in the contract specific to assignability that reinforce this permission. But a lot of the times, the contract may just be silent on the issue, so this is how buyers get around that. Lastly, another unscrupulous tactic that they'll use might be in filing a memorandum of contract. This is a sworn statement from the buyer attesting that a contract for purchase of the subject property exists between the buyer and the seller and consummates at the agreed closing date. The memorandum is recorded in the real property records of the county where the subject property is located, and thus becomes a public notice about the purchase agreement. Once a memorandum of contract is filed, homeowners have limited options for removing the resulting cloud on their title without resorting to court action. The only alternative is to persuade the filing party to remove it voluntarily. Therefore, it's crucial to avoid entering contracts with buyers who might employ this tactic. I recently saw it inserted into an addendum in one that I was reviewing. So falling into this trap can lead to significant costs and a legal battle for sellers with that buyer. So this is an area of abuse by wholesalers and can cloud the title of your property, making it harder for you to sell to others later, forcing you to sell to that wholesaler. You may want to vet the wholesaler and check your county's records for previous memorandum of contract filings. So this would be a significant help. So if you see a pattern that could indicate trouble and that this is something they do freely and often. If something feels off, trust your instincts and seek advice from a real estate agent, a real estate attorney, and the counsel of family and friends before making any commitments. I believe, and I'm just going to say it over and over again, that you should seek many perspectives and opinions from people that care about you and knowledgeable third parties before you sign anything. That anyone that you plan to transact with, ask for their credentials and read their website. It should have a US-based address on it, obviously in your local area as well. It should have client testimonials and or past client references. Look into their online presence and check their LinkedIn profile, as most professionals who want to be identified as a professional in their industry are listed there. Always know what your options for recourse are if something goes wrong. And I always go back to this. Ask yourself, if something goes wrong, do I want to be in a lawsuit with an out-of-state company when I am based in my home state? Is that something I want to deal with? Do I want to be dealing with an outside party? So if you think you might be dealing with an unethical wholesaler, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A skilled real estate agent can help you avoid pitfalls before signing any contracts, and definitely a local real estate attorney can help you with document review and provide you with that counsel before you sign anything, especially as it relates to the marketability and selling potential of your property if you do want to sell. Now, if you have received or already signed a purchase agreement with a wholesaler, or if you want to dispute a purchase agreement, a real estate attorney can guide you through the nuances of your contract and help you with your options there. Make sure you seek qualified opinions and counsel before you sign anything on your own, because these are large transactions typically for most of us. And if you find yourself in distress regarding your home, there are many ways to seek assistance through the help of licensed professionals that will represent your best financial interests. I'm Megan Johnson, your local broker realtor with Modern Nest Realty, serving the greater Dallas area. Let us know in the comments how a wholesale transaction went for you, and tell us the good, the bad, and the ugly so we can all learn from the experience. If you have any questions or need personalized advice, I'm here for you. Need an awesome agent in your market? Don't hesitate to reach out, as we are well-heeled and well-networked all around this country and work with awesome agents everywhere. So please, please, please like and subscribe, follow, and happy and safe selling. Bye.